We live in a kind of a political age, an age of controversy, an age of political correctness and outrage and Twitter storms and dangerous things to say. And you have to remember that in a knowledge community, there are also things that are not okay to say. Things that signal not that you are ignorant necessarily, but that you are, for lack of a better word, evil, that you're the wrong kind of person, right? There are things that are simply not okay to say. And it's important to know what those things are. And you might think that I'm informing you of this to scare you away from it, right? That there's a boundary to offense that you should dare not cross. But there's actually a very, very important Scandinavian figure of literature, a heroine that we do well to celebrate. Her name is Ronja, the robber's daughter. You may have heard of her. If not, you should look her up. There's books and movies. She's an Astrid Lindgren character, perhaps less famous than Pippi Longstockings, but certainly locally about as famous. And when she reaches a certain age, she's allowed to go into the forest. And her father, of course, is very concerned for her well-being and takes her aside and says, now you have to be very careful down by the river. It's a dangerous place. And he says, you have to be very careful by the abyss of doom. It's also a very, as the name suggests, a very dangerous place. So what does she take from this? Does she stay well away from the river? Does she stay well away from the abyss of doom? No, no. She goes right down to the edge of the river and takes great care there. Practices care, is very careful there. She goes right up to the abyss of doom, and in fact doesn't just go right up to it, she jumps over it and jumps back again, but very carefully in doing so, right? So she's careful, she's practicing dealing with this danger in a careful and circumspect sort of way, right? And that's what I'm going to suggest you do with this danger that there is in all discourse of causing and taking offense, right? Is learn to manage it. And the reason for that is that there is such a thing as a constructive provocation, right? There are some conversations that need to pass through a space of controversy, right? So you need to learn how to disagree, sometimes even disagree very emotionally with somebody, and then bring the conversation back from there. And you can definitely help each other do this.